Hello, welcome back. And today I'm going to show you how I implement the juggernaut training system in order to bench press 415 pounds at 180 pounds body weight. I'm going to go step-by-step instructions on each and every exercise and let you know the rep ranges and what you need to do and the sets you need to do in order to implement the progressive overload system that we do. Now, before we get started, you always want to make sure you're practicing good bench press ethics. We're going to make sure that the form is nice, tight, and make sure we're warming up the chest properly to our working sets. Me, for example, today when we go through the juggernaut training system, I've got 3 sets of 2 at 95% of my progressive overload. So I'm going to warm up all the way to 345, which will be my working sets. So for an example, today I'm going to do the bar. I'm going to do 135, 185, 225. And these are all going to be for sets of 10. And then I'm going to do 275 for 3, 315 for 3. And then I'm going to have 3 working sets of 2 reps with 345 pounds. And then next we'll go to the incline. Let's get started. Now, when you are gauging your reps and your sets, be mindful of your overall goal, what you're trying to achieve. For example, I have a professional MMA fight on October 8th. So what I'm trying to do is maintain a certain level of strength. So what I'm doing is I'm basing all my lifts based on a 365 pound bench press. Now, for example, if I was going to get ready for a powerlifting competition, obviously the bench press would be higher and I would be doing less conditioning in order to build the girth in the size of my chest. Size equals strength. So what you want to do is take a starting number, which I never bench press over 7 reps for a heavy load. So for example, when I start out with getting ready for a powerlifting competition, I would do 3 sets of 7 at 70%. And every week that goes by, I would go down 1 rep and up 5% until I got to 90%, which would be equivalent to 3 sets of 3 at 90% of my 1 rep max. And so what I like to do with all my clients to make sure that they're hitting the progressive overload ideally is what we do with what's called a projected max. So whatever you're trying to hit at the comp, you would be doing your percentages based on that. For example, my bench press at any normal time of the year is usually around 405 to 415 pounds. So if I'm doing a powerlifting competition, I'm trying to hit a max load of 425. So instead of doing the reps based on a percentage of 415, which is my normal bench press, I will be doing my projected bench press of 425. And over the week span of us doing our progressive overload, our body gets used to that weight. That way, when we get to the end of our peak phase, the weight is done. Our body's got used and got acclimated to the weight. As you've seen, I did 2 sets of 2 and I was feeling a little bit good today. So I went ahead and did my 3rd set for 3 reps. I would have probably done a little bit more, but I didn't have a spotter today. It's a little bit slow in the gym today. So what we're going to do, we're going to come over here to incline press. What I like to do for the incline press is do 3 sets of 6 reps, with each set being a configuration of a percentage that I feel comfortable doing. On any normal basis, have the flat line of the percentages that I have my normal clients do is a set of 6 with 60%, a set of 6 with 65%, and a set of 6 with 70% of their actual 1 rep max. So you would do 3 sets of 6. Now, for you more advanced people, you would do a set of 6 with 60% and then set of 6 with maybe 70%, and then another set of 6 with 75%. I've never went over 85% on incline, but everybody's different. There's some people that bench press more, that deadlift more, etc., etc. But for the most part, you want 3 sets of 6, each set being with one with 60%, one with 65%, and one with 70%. What this is going to help us do is it's going to help us overload the upper part of the pectoral muscles in order to get used to generating force. That was my third set, 70% of 405, which was 285. And now we move over to front leaning dips. What we're gonna do on the front leaning dips is when we bend over, bend dip, we're gonna lean forward, make sure our chin is in our chest, like so. We don't want it to be up, so we're leaning back and putting on the triceps. We're gonna lean forward, chin down, as into work the center portion of the chest right here. All right, now we're moving over to the front leaning dip. So I like to add plates on because if I'm just doing my body weight, it's not enough. So make sure we're nice here, nice and tight, putting the chin down with a slight lean on the forward. We're gonna go up, just so you don't have to lock out the elbow, but we're gonna go at least to right here, back down to where the arms are parallel, then back up. So in order for me to hang a plate, the easiest and quickest way for me to figure out to do this, I set this up here. I feed a chain in through here. Now the belt is not for back stability. The belt is just to hang the plate. And as you feed the chain in, you see the little clip? What we're gonna do is just gonna clip it on, like so. There we go. With the hang of the plate here, we step up, and 10 to 15 reps, whatever your preference is on this. This is going to be the last of our power output for exercise of chest. Rest of the chest exercises are going to be for a dynamic build and muscle density. So here, lean forward. All right, and there you go. All right, now that we're done with the power portion of the progressive overload, we move on to the body part. So what the juggernaut training system is, it's a progressive overload power body routine. What I've done was I took all the best movements from powerlifting and I combined them with the best movements, what I think, from bodybuilding. So what we're doing at the first of the exercises is we're getting all our explosive power movements done. And then after the front leaning dips, we come back to the bench press to do 50 to 55% of our max for 5 sets of 15. Now, granted, this is a little bit more than 50% of my max, but for the most part, 225 is relatively easy for me. So when it comes to you would have to work what is relatively good for you to work with. Some people it might be 40%, but you never want to go below 40%. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this for 5 sets of 15, and then we're going to move over to the cable flies or pec deck. So what we're going to do is come into our bench press, nice and steady, come up, and we're going to get our reps in. Like so. Now remember, this is just to get blood flow to the chest. So we're on this exercise, we're working on more like muscular density. Denser muscles have a higher probability for transferring kinetic energy the denser the muscles. Now for our last exercise, we're going to do some pec deck, or you can do cable flies, whatever your preference is. Now for this exercise, it doesn't have to be super heavy. All we're wanting to do is force blood flow to the chest. So I like to keep it at a moderately heavy weight. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the heaviest, 1 being the lightest, I like to keep it around about a 7. So we're just going to come here, and we're going to do 3 sets of 15. Nice and slow and steady. Nice, slow, and steady. Make sure we're getting a nice squeeze and contraction on the chest to force the blood flow to it. This is ideal and fantastic for giving you good girth and size and shape. And squeeze. And there you have it. That's the Juggernaut training system. This is the system that I developed, that I use, that all my clients use, and multiple clients of mine that have multiple bench presses over 400 pounds. Me, myself, 415. One of my other clients has a 480 pound bench. I have 5 other clients that have 400 plus bench presses. So if you all like the content, please subscribe, please like the content, please hit that bell notification so you can be notified whenever I upload all my tips and tricks on how to lose weight, get strong, and stay fit all year long. And if you want to message me, please add me on one of my other social media outlets that will be in the description. I'm Almighty Bell. This is your Juggernaut training system. Till next time, stay fit.